My name's Erin Benzakein, and I am the founder of Floret, which is a small flower farm and seed company in Washington. And we recently purchased a new farm, and we are transforming this blank slate into a beautiful sanctuary. I've been in the landscape, horticulture, floriculture industry for 15, 20 years now. I've never heard of anything like this. The technique that they use to harvest, the way they're grown, I could not wrap my mind around that was actually a real thing, and that you plant the whole box and you just put it in the ground and leave it and they don't experience transplant shock. I was very skeptical. I totally thought this has got to be a scam. Is the truck not even going to show up? Is this a real thing? And it's not a scam. They actually work. So when we started into the process of designing bigger gardens and really developing our new farm, we were starting with a blank slate. There is absolutely nothing there. It's just bare dirt. And through the process of trying to figure out how do we quickly turn this blank slate into a place, we started researching what are our options for hedging, for trees, how do we fast track this process? So Becky Crowley, who's here from the UK and is helping me design the farm, was doing some research one day online and discovered Instant Hedge, because we were talking about putting in hedges around the boundaries. And she was totally sold on the whole idea, and I honestly thought it was a scam. I'm like, this cannot possibly be real. You can't just put them in the ground and you have an instant wall of green, but in fact you can. So in addition to creating gardens, another big piece of our farm design has actually been trying to figure out ways to slow down the wind, because we're in a very windy valley, which helps flowers do better. They get taller stems, when they have a little bit of extra protection, and also provide habitat and sanctuary for songbirds and different wildlife, little creatures to nest and make their homes in. So that wildlife have loved the hedges, but I would say the most noticeable thing is just how quickly we were able to create a sense of place. How quickly, overnight, it went from a blank slate to a place. Our first round of hedges were mostly balled and burlapped for our evergreen hedges, and we planted those 2 years ago, and they still have not filled in. It was a pretty big investment, but they were something that we could get locally, and we're still waiting on them to fill in. And with the instant hedges, we have instant privacy, and we were so happy with our first order that we've ended up ordering 3 times more for our second orders. I would say my experience working with the team at Instant Hedge and just the product itself has been just fantastic. There's been nothing difficult. Everything about it has been great. We planted right before it warmed up for the summer. So really at the last window that we could plant our first round of hedges, they experienced no transplant shock, like they said, which was really surprising. We babied them, followed the instructions, but the plants just took off, kept growing. The process of putting them in, it really only took a day or two. A lot of heavy equipment and labor, but we got them in, and it was we made a place very quickly. So the whole experience has been really wonderful. The process of ordering was super easy because the website has all kinds of great information. Pretty much all of your questions are answered there. So we did a lot of research on their website, which is very helpful. And then Stephanie in the office was she removed every barrier to ordering possible. Every change we had, any questions we had that weren't covered, she was just so unbelievably helpful. And then we ordered on a Tuesday and we received the hedges on a Thursday, which is crazy to me. An entire semi-truck load, or 3 actually, showed up just within 2 days and we're ready for planting. I'm definitely sold on them. I'm a huge fan. They are not a scam. It's actually a real thing. But yeah, I'm very pleased with the quality, the service, just the whole experience.